Talk to the parents of older children today, and you'll likely hear the same specific frustration. I just can't get them to care about anything. The symptoms are consistent across school districts and neighborhoods. Kids ignore their homework, walk away from the sports they used to love, and answer questions about their future with a shrug. Most adults look at this behavior and see a lack of discipline. They conclude the child is missing a work ethic, which means the only way to fix them is to increase the pressure. This frames the child as a stalled engine, placing the responsibility on the parent to provide the spark that gets them moving again. This theory of the lazy child is difficult to reconcile with the behavior of a 2-year-old. Watch a toddler attempting to walk. They wobble, lose balance, and hit the floor. Despite the physical pain, they pull themselves up and try again, repeating the cycle hundreds of times without a single word of adult encouragement. No one needs to read motivational books to a toddler. The drive to master their environment and grow into their capabilities is a biological constant. Because this relentless pursuit of growth is hardwired into us at birth, the apathy we see in teenagers suggests something has happened to override our natural biology. We have to identify the exact moment the resilient, stumbling toddler is replaced by the withdrawn, unmoving teenager. This change typically coincides with their entry into the performance environment, a shift where the rules of the child's world are rewritten by adult expectations. In early childhood, the environment favors exploration. As a child ages, that freedom drops away, and a strict culture of evaluation takes over. What we mistake for a loss of motivation is often the child's internal system adapting to an environment where the cost of making a mistake has become too high. This environment is sustained by 4 common parental behaviors that act as pathogens to a child's natural drive. The first is overcorrection. When an adult constantly fixes a child's mistakes, they remove the child's ownership of the task. The freedom to fail safely is replaced by the need to be corrected. The second is the expectation of perfection. When the end result is the only thing that matters, the child learns that the learning process itself has no value. Then comes comparison. This shifts the child's focus away from their own personal progress and toward their rank against their peers. Finally, we have forced dreams. When a parent dictates the goals, the child loses their autonomy. They are no longer the ones choosing the direction of their own life. These 4 behaviors are intended to build discipline, but they have the opposite effect. They punish the very trial and error mechanics that allow motivation to flourish. When we look at an unengaged teenager, we are seeing the aftermath of this process. We call it laziness, but the actual driver is fear. They are afraid of failing and disappointing the adults constantly measuring them. Apathy works as a powerful defense mechanism. If a child refuses to try, they eliminate the possibility of falling short or being judged. The tragedy is that the pressure parents apply to cure this apathy is often the exact source of the fear that created it. To reverse this, we have to change how we view our role in a child's development. The common belief is that parents must act as builders who create and maintain their child's motivation from the outside. A more accurate model is the protector. The drive is already there, like a flame. The parent's job is to shield that flame from the external anxieties that threaten to extinguish it. Successful parenting involves identifying and clearing the barriers of fear that keep a child from moving forward. When that 2-year-old fell down, you didn't grade their technique or compare them to the child next door. You were simply a supportive presence. An older child needs that same lack of anxiety when they fail or struggle with new skills. Your task is not to motivate your child, but to protect the motivation they were born with.